So, have you already done your homework today? What you can see here is a roller ball, especially for children. It was made especially for small hands, and it even helps them learn how to write. How it works, we will explain in just a minute. First, we will go on a little trip back in time. Pens did not always look like they do today. 400 years ago, people started writing with a quill, which had to be dipped into an ink pot all the time. In the 18th century, a pen was invented, which looked very much like the ones we know today. The quill has been made of metal, and the ink pot has changed into a cartridge. The look has obviously changed. Just two things have always remained the same. Every pen has a quill and a straight grip. It would be more correct to say had remained. Nowadays, pens can look a little bit different, and there is a very specific reason for this. They are supposed to make writing a whole lot easier. Writing looks easy, but actually it's quite hard, especially for those who are just starting to learn. Well, learning how to write takes some time, and so it can be quite exhausting. It's nearly as hard as learning to play a new musical instrument. For beginners, letters are just unknown shapes, and for that reason, they just copy them. But copying has nothing to do with real writing, which should happen just by itself. Easier said than done. That is why many children write slowly, or they tense up. As they get better, the writing becomes more and more automatic. So, with a little bit of practice and some patience, it soon gets easier. The problem is that many children are so concentrated that they tense up far too much and hold on to the pen as if it were a Stone Age tool. If children make a really big effort writing, the hand finally starts to hurt. Ouch! A tense writing position, strained hands, wrong and irregular handwriting. For parents and teachers, it's a very well-known problem. Recent surveys show the true extent. Handwriting in Europe is hard for about 80% of pupils and students. So 8 out of 10 children have problems with their writing. First graders nowadays have a hard time with the coordination of their hands. They often take the pen in their whole hand and don't use the 3-finger grip. For that reason, their handwriting is unclear. They also tend to use a lot of pressure while writing. Scientists and doctors therefore recommend ergonomic pens for writing. But what does that actually mean? Ergonomic pens fit perfectly into the hand, and so help the writing process. But how do they fit that well? Well, there are different scientists who are working on that task, like Mr. Bruder from the Technical University of Darmstadt. He is a specialist in the area of ergonomics, and in his laboratory he carries out different tests. We just had a closer look at what he actually does there. After conducting numerous experiments on people writing whilst connected via cables to a computer, he found that a pen is somewhat like a sports shoe. If you write a lot over a long period, like pupils normally do, the pen should support the body in the best possible way. Badly designed pens can be a problem because they put excessive pressure on children's hands and arms, and they can even cause pain and illness. Our hand has to do a very hard job whilst writing, but this can be made easier with ergonomic pens. And Dr. Marquardt knows exactly how. The writing analyst has invented a special computer program which makes the movements of writing visible. In this way, he can analyze them and understand what actually happens to our hand when we write. He gets people to write with a special pen on a graphic tablet, which is connected to a computer. The program analyzes, amongst other things, the handwriting and measures the speed, the acceleration and the pressure. This helps us to see how well you have learnt to write and what kind of exercises could be useful for you. In this way, we know precisely what the hand needs to write fluently. Obviously, this is important to know in order to make the pen fit perfectly into the hand. This has all been discovered by analysing thousands of people all around the world. This is how Stabilo, together with scientists and teachers, invented a special pen needing only a small amount of effort to write with. Compared to normal pens, the Stabilo pen has a curved form and holes in the grip, which avoid sliding around the paper. This saves energy. It is not only the form that is key. The flow of ink is equally important. With the classic pen, there was either too little, and you had to help it out a little bit, or too much, and there were stains or ugly spots. With the traditional pen, the quill wears out and can scratch the paper, sometimes even making holes. With Rollerball Smooth Easy, nothing like this happens, since there is also a special ink which allows for optimal writing speed. It does not leave ugly ink blots, and it flows continuously through a small ball onto the paper. But there is another problem. 1 in every 3 children is left-handed, and for them it's twice as hard. When they write like those who are right-handed, they smudge their own writing. To prevent this, they adopt a different position. But this is even more tense, and their hands therefore start to hurt them very quickly. For this reason, there are pens especially adapted for left-handed writers. In this way, everybody can learn to write easily. Hey, did you actually know that writing with your hand makes it a whole lot easier to remember stuff? So, there you go. Enjoy writing.